I don't know what can be said that hadn't already been said. We got a game Thursday at K-State. Great football team, great tradition, very knowledgeable and experienced coaching staff, and a great challenge for our football team. So we've been pretty good in November the last 3 or 4 years. Need to continue that tradition.
John Warner, Waco Trib. Art, you feel like the bye week might have helped Jarrett's transition to a starting quarterback?
I think so. I think it helped a lot of people. We had a couple guys banged up, helped them get well a little bit. But, Stidham's deal, he's been going all along anyway. Actually in practice, in reps, our twos get as many reps as our ones all the way through. So from that standpoint, no difference there other than the fact that he was working with a few different people over the last 4 practices.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Art, can you just talk about, this is the first time a true freshman has started since '09 at quarterback, but how much better this program is, how the group around him than it was in '09?
Yeah, not to downgrade the 9 class or the 8 class or the 2003 class at Houston when we had a freshman quarterback that started. There's good players all over the table. It's about confidence. It's about establishing an image, a perception, a trademark, a tradition that takes time, takes effort, takes attitude, takes support, and it takes facilities. So from that standpoint, he's certainly walking into a situation where the car is a little shinier than it was in '09 when Nick Florence did it, or in '08 when Robert did it, or in '03 when Kevin Cobb did it.
Nick Canizales, KCN coach. Kansas State started off the season pretty well. Played Oklahoma State tough, TCU tough. They kind of tapered off. But what have you seen on film that could possibly give you guys some trouble Thursday?
The emblem on the helmet. They're a good football team. I would, not to put words in your mouth, but I think pretty well saying it kind of lightly about how they played. Their game against TCU, you got 18-point lead. The Oklahoma State game was, up and down the field the whole game. So they're just, they're a Big 12 opponent. We played them last year, last game of the season for the Big 12 championship, and that's reality. That's not something that I'm making up. So, we have a lot of respect for that football team and that program. And if you don't, then you don't understand football and you don't understand programs.
Steve Cook, Sikkim Sports. Coach, any thoughts on who would be backing up Chris Johnson in the third quarterback slot yet?
We'd rather not get to that aspect of the game. So we've got a couple people in mind that could, potentially get us out of a football game if that situation happened. Has happened before. It did happen in '09, actually, where we had to get to the third QB in a game. But like I said, our mindset, we're in, the earth ends at 10 p.m. Thursday, and then we move from there. So that's our mindset right now. If we're thinking about the future or anything beyond that, then we're not doing our job, and we're going to do our job.
Is Billings full speed?
He is. He's close. I don't know about full speed. He's asking about Andrew Billings if he's full speed. I would classify him probably in the low 90s, which is full speed enough for us. So we like it. We like his presence. We like his attitude. We certainly like his ability.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Art, with Jarrett in there, do you alter the offense in any way or temper expectations at all?
That it would be no and heck no.
Sean Giggy, News 10 Sports.
Yes,
Coach, I know we asked you after the Iowa State game, but now that I guess we're on the eve of the first college football playoff rankings coming out. Or what's your level of interest in that? Are you going to be at the TV at 6 o'clock tomorrow, paying close attention?
No, I won't be at the TV paying close attention. But it'll be a topic of interest. And I think that's why they start putting these standings out. I don't know how many they have, 5 or 6 before the final one, which is really, as we saw last year, the only one that we need to pay real close attention to, because there's so much fluidness between now and then. But it's a point of interest, and it's a point of motivation, either positively or negatively. So just however you want to use it, But I don't, pins and needles. No, I mean if we take care of our business, then we'll help determine where we stand.
Coach John Morris, Baylor Radio. Anything you can tell us about Seth and going through the surgery and his
Yeah,
stats?
I mean, a lot of really good news on that end. Of course, he had the surgery Friday. I haven't looked, but I'm sure everybody's very aware of where he's at and how it went. But just from my knowledge, talking to Mike and to some other people involved, everything went as well as could be expected. Expecting full and healthy recovery. He's up. Got out of the hospital Saturday. He's moving around. He's comfortable, and he's Seth. I mean, he's a fighter, and we're anxious for him to get back on campus and get back around us. But everything turned out certainly as well as we could have ever hoped for. So that's the most important thing for him.
Paul Catalina, ESPN Central Texas. Coach, Jarrett Stidham was an early enrollee and went through the spring. At the quarterback position in particular, how valuable are those reps now that he's been thrown into the fire?
Well, it just makes all the difference in the world. If you're a QB and you have the ability to get out in midterm, that's certainly what you need to do. And let's see, I don't know if I can talk. I might can talk about the guy we've got committed that signed a financial aid. Shill, you should know. Is Chad in here? I can talk about him. Huh? I can? Yeah, I mean, so we got a guy committed to us right now that's a midterm quarterback that it makes all the difference in the world. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if I can or not, but it makes a world of difference. When he steps on the field Thursday night, he will have been at Baylor on this campus for 11 months. He came in here as 18-year-old to turn 19 this summer. He's changed. He's different. And he's experienced a lot, been around a lot, and felt a lot. So he's ready. The guy's ready, and that's of utmost importance.
Art, I think you've talked about survive in advance already, but people have talked about expanding the playoffs. The way the schedule has fallen in the Big 12, is this almost like a playoffs this month?
Yeah, I missed the first part. Surviving. What'd you say?
You talked about before about surviving and advancing.
And advancing. Okay. Yeah. I mean, really, that's how we're looking at it, Jerry. It's not in reality that, because we do haven't. We do in playoffs. It's either you do it or you go home. So we're going to keep going, but in the way the system's set up, and if your goal is to get into the Final Four and get into the college football playoffs, then from that mindset, we are in the playoffs. And, us of low intellects or, standards understand that. So, it's not that hard to figure out. Doesn't mean that that's of reality, because there's a lot of things that can happen between now and December 5th or whatever the last one comes out. I mean, it's, as we saw last year. I mean, I think we started out 13th and ended up 5th. So it's just the way it happens. And so there's a lot of stuff that can go on, but we can't get tied up into that. Our job's to go win on the football field, and we've got a great task in front of us Thursday night in Manhattan. We understand that. Great opportunity, too. I mean, we're very, very motivated, very excited.
Coach, you said since Jarrett's been here 11 months that he's ready for this. The last time he started a game was in high school, and now he's going to be stepping in front of probably one of the most hostile crowds in the Big 12. Why is it, in your estimation, that he's ready to step into this atmosphere?
I mean, all I can do is go by what I've seen. That's kind of what you judge people by, by what you see and what you hear. And, like I said, I've been doing it 37 years. I'll be totally shocked if he's not very composed, very competitive, very intelligent, and very on cue with everything that he does Thursday for our football team. I mean, you just go by what you see and what you feel and what you have been subjected to, and that's what we've noticed since being around him. You know, I mean, he's got an old soul. Don't look at him as that F word, you know, because he's not. You know, he's a ready quarterback, and that's the way we look at him.
Art, would you expect Kansas State to maybe do a few extra things to try to rattle him that they maybe wouldn't do against Seth, him being a freshman, that F word, you know?
Glad you're using that one. I'm just not, you know, I don't know. I mean, that's for them to answer. You know, I just have no idea. I mean, it's if he was incapable, I would say yes. You know what I mean? If you're going to challenge somebody to run, you better make sure you can outrun them first.
Sean, J. Rogers, Dallas Morning News. Coach, can you take us into that quarterback battle this summer? What went into the decision to move Stidham up to number 2 on the depth chart and move Chris Johnson over?
You know, really, there was the quarterback battle took place in the spring, more or less, and you know, it just came down to where we felt like that he was a little more ready, a little more consistent, and we felt like Seth was a guy that certainly had, you know, done everything we'd asked 3 years prior, and had done everything to prove that he was the guy that was ready to go, and everything else just kind of fell in place. Felt like Chris had other abilities that could help us at other places, but we felt like he was a very capable quarterback also. So we're glad he's back in the room.
Some Novembers to remember the last, you know, couple of years. I mean, is that something that you guys talk about as a team? I mean,
we do. Yeah, we really do. I mean, and you said it right there, and that's the words that you know, they always remember November. You know, I'm not sure you could exactly quote, you know, to me what happened at SMU, you know, and give me a rundown on the game, other than maybe it's 28-21 at half, or, you know, whatever it was, ended up, you know, 56-21. But, you know, as far as running down game by game, play by play, who played well, who didn't, you know, and what the ramifications are in November, I don't know. But you can tell me what happened, you know, probably, you know, last year at a home or away game that we had that Bader played, you know, in November. So that's what's important. If you want to have a great football team, you better be good late.
That's it. All right,
Thank y'all.